Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is a Muslimah's reflection. So today I wanted to discuss rejoice in the death of an enemy. Now, on my timeline, I have been seeing a lot of Muslims rejoicing in the death of the Charlie Boy guy, whatever his name is. I didn't know anything. I didn't know his name, but I knew who he was by face. I'm a person that's terrible with names. I will remember your face in a situation before I remember your name. I can remember every detail about you, but forget your name. That's just me. Anybody who knows me know I'm just like that. I will rename you in a minute because I won't remember your name. It's nothing personal. It's all love, okay? But that's not the purpose of the video. So don't condemn me for not knowing his name. Listen to the message. Now, I was a Juma Friday, and my spirit told me to speak, but I had already did a Muslimah's reflection for Friday, and so I don't want to overwhelm anybody with my reflections. But this has been eating at me for the last couple of days regarding Muslims rejoicing in the death of an enemy. Now, I by no means do I have remorse for an enemy of Islam. None whatsoever. This is not what I'm saying. But let me remind us, let me remind you of our behavior, okay? Our behavior, rejoicing and making fun of and laughing and things like that, that is not the ummah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is not how we behave. Let's get that clear. If we study the seerah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we know that even in the face of his enemies, he did not rejoice at the death of them. Think about when his uncle Abu Jahl, one of his own family member, a great enemy to Islam and to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And when he got killed in the battle, he didn't rejoice. He didn't, the enemy is dead. He didn't do none of that. He didn't make a public display or mockery of the death. You want to know what sallallahu alaihi wasallam said? There's an authenticated hadith, Sahih, as a matter of fact. You can find it in Bukhari and the Sunan of Nasa'i. Okay? What Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, do not verbally abuse the dead enemy. Do not verbally abuse your dead enemy, because their deeds are already set. In other words, don't make fun of, don't laugh, don't be happy for them, because you can bring turmoil to the living. Authenticating narration. Do not verbally abuse or mock the death of an enemy, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already decreed what's going to happen. Okay? And the display of what we're displaying is not proper display of Islam. By making fun of, laughing at, or whatever. No matter who the enemy is, we don't laugh and make fun of him. Now, do we have remorse? No, we don't have remorse for an enemy against Islam, for one who spoke negatively about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Quran, and our Nabi Rasulullah ta'ala sallallahu alayhi wasallam. No, we don't have any remorse for your passing, but we're not going to celebrate either. We must, we have to embody proper adab, even dealing with our enemies. Heck, some of us don't even have proper adab dealing with our own brothers and sisters. We be rude, nasty, can't take corrections, don't like the dawah. But that's another topic of discussion. But we need to stop doing that. What we're doing right now is showing them bad adab. What we're doing right now is putting even more of a negative picture into Islam, into this ummah. Oh, well, Muslims laugh at the death of their enemy. No, we don't. We don't rejoice at the death of our enemy. We don't make dua for them either. We say that was the qada of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it is what it is. And we wash our hands with it, okay? I need y'all to stop doing this. I really do. I need us to get better with embodying proper adab, proper characteristics, and displaying them within this ummah. Because he may have hated Islam, but his children may grow up to want to be Muslim. And your actions are not helping. Your negative display, you're laughing, you're mocking his death. It's not helping. Think about this. When the Prophet ﷺ left, when he was exiled and he had to leave Mecca, right? He left Mecca and he went to Taif. And he gave dawah there, and they abused him. His sandals were bloody and everything. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And the angel, Jibril alayhi salam, came to him, and another angel came along with him, and they asked him, what do you, basically, I'm paraphrasing, what you want to do? You know what I'm saying? You got the power. We can tear this up. We can shut this whole thing down with the flip of my wing. Just say it. Allah has given you the command. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know what our Nabi Rasulullah sallallahu said? No, do not harm them. I pray that their children grow up to be Muslims. Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah. That is what we should be embodying. Make dua that the enemies of Islam, that their children become Muslims, and their children and their children's children become Muslims. Not laughing at them, not mocking them. Don't give them more negativity to display on Islam and Muslims. Let's show them positivity. Let's show them that we embody the characteristics the best way that we can of our Nabi Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Y'all gotta stop this negativity, this BS here. Because what you're doing, you're bringing a wrath upon the living. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, do not make fun of your enemy and when he dies. Because you incur a wrath upon the living. That's real, y'all. That's real. Because you laughing at somebody else dying, it could be somebody else close to you. Just because you are a believer don't mean things don't happen to you. Hello? With hardship, there comes ease. Allah said that you will be tested. You can't say you believe and not be tested. So I'm telling y'all, calm down with all this posting and making fun of this Charlie man. Okay? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already decreed what's going to happen for him. Yes, we all know a couple of weeks before he was assassinated, we all know he did a hate speech on Islam. We all know that we know historically a person that literally burnt the Quran, and 3 months later, he ended up, it was somewhere overseas. I think it was in a European continent somewhere. 3 months later, his car ended up burning up, catching on fire. Boom, nobody know what happened. It was just a miraculous event. No, it was about the qada of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So let me tell y'all see, remember the battle of Badr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said the angels to fight on the Muslim side. We have power, y'all. We got so much power because of our faith, our belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and our Nabi Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We have to believe, let that flow more than our hatred for our enemy. Let that display more than the hatred for our enemies. Because what we're doing now, we're showing the negativity of Islam and not the positivity of Islam, and we got to do better. How we gonna change something and we acting like them? Make it make sense to me. We don't supposed to imitate the kuffar, but you behaving like them by making fun of them, by mocking them, by laughing at when they die. No, baby, stop doing that. Be mindful, because just because you laughing at the face of your enemy doesn't mean that's not a bad deed that you collected for yourself. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.